Do it.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin. I'm back with segment number 2 of episode number 84 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. And I have what I'm going to deem as a special guest on the show today, or the podcast, because this gentleman is a new friend of mine. And he's never been on my podcast or any other podcast. So go easy on him. No bad remarks on YouTube. Okay, guys?
I can take it.
Yeah.
I work in real estate.
So this is Rishi Naran.
Yep.
From EXP Realty.
Yeah.
Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yep. So my name is Rishi Naran with EXP, leader of the Naran Group. And our group is just 2 people. So my mom and I. She's in the mentor. She's been the guide in all this stuff. And, you know, she's got a lot of experience in the industry. So that helps us navigate this market where the first question you get from a person is, how long have you been doing this?
Exactly.
And when I say 4.5 years, they say, oh, but my agent's been doing it 10. It's like, well, my mom was my partner. She's been doing it 18.
There you go.
So
now we got 22 years.
Exactly. So it helps us with some of that, but more importantly, she's seen everything. And I think today, in today's market especially, everybody just on a society level is so short-term focused that they forget that this world we live in is cyclical. It goes up, it goes down, it gets busy, it gets slow. You have great years, you have horrible years, but it's all just a cycle. And you have to keep everybody, clients especially, even keeled during that time, because they're going to think that it's still 2020 and they list their house and get 50 offers in the first 5 minutes.
2025 is different.
Exactly. It's very different.
Yeah. So what were you doing before you decided to become a real estate agent 5 years
so
ago?
I started off my career. I'm a big sports fanatic, so I used to work for a bank, and I worked in, on the partnership side there. So I mean, I'm not going to go into the details of the people I've been with, but I have worked on some of the bigger events in the world, and with some of the biggest athletes, on the planet. It was a fun experience, a great job for my 20s. It was a good passion for a good job for your 20s. It's a lot of work.
It fueled your passion.
It fueled it, exactly. It's a lot of work. The pay isn't the best, but the rewards are endless. But at the end of the day, I decided I wanted to chase my entrepreneurial dream. I always wanted to own my own business, run my own business. So we do currently own a few other businesses around Houston, laundromats, etc. But really, for me, it was always about helping people. That was my main passion. So with real estate, what more can someone do besides make the biggest financial decision of their life, essentially, in most cases. So we're here to guide them, and that's the rewarding part. It's seeing the kids run around the room excited, choosing their room in the house. That type of stuff is what fuels our team, really. It's not about the next check. Obviously you make a living in life, but it's about the other moments. It's how we can be the best resource for them and create those memories and create that environment to create those memories, I should say.
Yeah, I truly believe that money is very important, but it is not the most important thing.
No.
And when I learned that, going from my younger years to my older adult years, when I learned that,
right,
I became a lot more happier in the job that I was doing every day.
Right.
And people will learn that as they get older, and you were younger, so money wasn't that important. It was more to have some fun with the athletes and all that stuff, and in your job. Now you're a little bit older, and you go, okay, money's a little bit more important, but not the only important thing.
Right.
But now you get to make more money and make yourself happy.
Correct. I think it's the balance, right? You have to create a living. You have to do something that you enjoy. You have to do something that fuels you. It's not just about go to work, get a paycheck, come home. It's about having that everyday motivation of, here's why I do this. And, I think that there's a book called Start With Why. That's
I think
the
almost
key.
everybody in business has read that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key. Why? It's almost when I have nieces and nephews now, and everything you say, why? But it's a good place to be. You have to think about what you're doing. Is what you're doing the right thing, the wrong thing? Why are you doing this?
And when you're a child like that and you're asking why, you're not wondering if it's the right or the wrong thing. You just want to know, why do I got to do that?
Exactly.
I want to go over here, and you're making me go over there.
Right. Exactly.
What? So you've been an agent for about 4 years.
Yep.
Over the last 4 years, what kind of agent have you decided that you liked the best? Are you a buying agent, selling agent, leasing, investing, all of the above?
Yeah, I mean, we really do focus more buying, selling. I think we've had better success as a team with the buyer's agency side. However, we do enjoy the listing side more, if that makes any sense. I think that being able to walk into a home and figure out how to get this thing sold is fun, and so we do a bit of both, investment side, leases. We've done leases as well too. I will say I feel like leases are a lot of work for a lot less.
Even the difference between buying and selling houses are a lot of different.
Exactly. But again, for us, if we're not comfortable doing it, we're not going to do it. That's kind of number one. But we're not just going to say it just to get a deal either. We're very strategic in what we approach. We don't take every listing. We don't take every buyer. We want to, we're not trying to just be that massive volume team that has millions of clients right behind us. We want to make sure that we have the right clients who we can provide the right service to as well.
So you have happy clients.
Correct. So then we can do what we do best, which is provide great service and great attention to detail.
So tell everybody a little bit about you're with EXP.
Correct.
What's EXP all about?
Yeah, I mean, I started off at Realm right across the street here, and that was a great starter. And then I moved over to Coldwell Banker, which is more the larger brand, more brick and mortar style. And then we ultimately made the decision to move over to EXP. And I think with EXP, again, if I could predict the future, I'd be doing something completely different. But from what I've understood of EXP, it does kind of set the future. Some stuff for the future. There's a lot of change in the industry, commission lawsuits, this, that, AI. There's so much changing that the traditional brokerage model may or may not fit everybody in the future. And I think for our team and how we're structured, having this style of brokerage works for us. I think, having obviously something that's set up for retirement's key. We do some stuff on our own, but with EXP, they have that in there. The part that's been the most shocking has been the camaraderie. I didn't expect that. Yeah,
because there's no brick and mortar buildings anymore.
But I feel like the camaraderie is incredible. And so there's a lot of really good agents in there, a lot of people to bounce ideas off of. I think I've seen a lot more collaboration here than anywhere else as well, too. You can ask anybody any question, anytime, and they're going to answer it.
I was with a bunch of EXP agents last night.
Right. Yeah.
So do you go to EXPCon?
I didn't go last year. We had family stuff. I'll plan to go this year though. I went to Build the year before over in San Antonio right before I joined EXP to see what it was all about, and that was a good momentum as well. Yeah. I think for EXP, the marriage of technology, camaraderie, all the tools you need, the backing of having a massive brokerage, whilst also being able to essentially operate as your own team with that backing has been a really good partnership for us. Again, it's not for everybody. I'm not going to be like every EXP agent. Hey, recruit, come on. Now, if you want to come in, give me a call. But at the end of the day, it's not for everybody, but it is a great model that I think can fit the future of what real estate can look like.
Especially, from my perspective, because I work with a lot of real estate agents, helping them grow their business. Right. And EXP is a great brokerage if you want the backing, but you want to be able to grow your own brand and do your own thing. Correct. Because a lot of those bigger brokerages, they don't want you doing that.
No, they want their logo to be the biggest one out there, and there's nothing wrong with that because they have that history to earn that. So there's nothing to bash somebody about that. No, but it's not, like I said, it's not for everybody. Obviously I'm wearing my logo nice and proud. I want to grow this logo, and I want that backing of a bigger brokerage to walk into meetings with clients and say, oh, who are you with? Oh, okay, great. And not go, who's that again? Right.
Or you're with X. Who are you again?
Right.
You want people to recognize you as well.
Right. Exactly.
So what part of, I'm sure you'll help anybody anywhere or pretty much anywhere, but what part of Houston do you consider yourself to be the expert?
Yeah. So Fort Bend County for sure. I remember that we've been here our entire lives. We've been here when, the Fort Bend County Fairgrounds, Santa where Sugar Land Town Center is at this point. We were here before the mall was built. Remember the tornado hitting the mall back in the day. There's been a lot of changes over to Fort Bend County. We grew up in Sugar Land. My parents still live in Sugar Land. I live in Siena in Missouri City. My sister lives there as well too. So we're really
Were you born in Sugar Land?
I was unfortunately born in Dallas, but don't tell people that too loud.
Hey, I was born in Dallas too. By the way, he's an Aggie fan.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Just knock. Yeah, the door's over there, right?
Yeah,
No, but yeah. So I was born in Dallas, moved here when I was 3 years old. So this is home. This is for as long as I can remember. Houston's home and Sugar Land's home. So Fort Bend County is really where our expertise lies. We're up and down 99 as well too. But you know, we have been here long enough, and because of my previous jobs and what I do, we drive the city all the time. So there are very few areas we aren't comfortable selling in. If we aren't, we will say it. We're not comfortable here. We're gonna refer that one out. But in general, you know, most of the city we're comfortable with, and we keep up to date with everything too. And it's rare we walk in, meet somebody today and tomorrow, hey, list my house here. Most things take, you know, a few months to nurture and develop, and so by that time, you've done your research if there are any questions on there.
Yep. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about. You've been an agent for 4 years. Your mom was an agent for 18 years. Yeah. Now you're a team.
Yep.
Over the years.
Yep.
What are some of the ways that you got leads? You grow your business.
Yeah. So a lot of our business comes through our network. You know, we make the calls. We've built our relationship with people. They know us, like us, trust us. A lot of referrals that way as well too. We do post on Instagram, nowhere near enough. I struggle with content. I'll be open about that.
I'm gonna fix that.
Yeah, and this is what he's gonna help me out with. So you know, but at the end of the day, you know, a lot of our business is coming that way is through our network and our referrals that way. You know, we obviously open houses too. I'm working with a buyer now that I met in an open house a couple weeks ago. So open houses are obviously key. We do a lot of open houses when we have listings. And yes, an open house is to get people in the house. It's also for us to find buyers. We'll be open about that. So those two avenues have been the most beneficial to us. Now, going forward, it's time to diversify that a bit and add more ways to get consistent clients.
Yeah. So, what are some of the things that you think you might want to try in 2025?
Yeah, you know, we've done some farming, but I don't think we've done it well. I honestly don't think we've done farming well. I think there's a lot more new technologies and opportunities in that space to farm areas we know well. That's kind of one. You know, I've bought leads in the past. It's a waste of money. No offense.
You need to buy leads.
Exactly. Cold calling again. I think that's also a little bit of it's a futile effort, really, because they're getting a million calls. And then, but really, and I think for us, it's a consistent social media presence as well, too, between the consistent social media presence with the right content, not just content for content's sake, and a mixture of farming along with our network. That's going to be the way forward for us.
You said a word that I did not preempt you with. You used the word consistency. I don't care what marketing you choose to do.
Right.
If you're consistent, eventually it will work.
Right.
If you're not consistent in anything you do, don't complain you don't have any leads.
Right.
You just can't do one thing one time and then sit back and wait for the phone to ring.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So I'm glad you used that word.
Yep.
And those are some great things. The other thing I might want to add is, or actually there's two. One, whether you are or not already using a CRM.
Yep.
And number two, video.
Yeah.
The number one way to market anything today is video.
Right.
And people tell me all the time, well, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. Get over it.
Because they're going to see you that way anyway when they see you in person.
Exactly. People don't care about that.
Right.
I want to do business with somebody, or I want to meet somebody for the first time that I've seen on the internet, that when I meet them, that's who I are meeting, who I saw in the advertising, I saw in the video.
Right.
If you're a politician online, and then I meet you in person, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because people's personalities work together depending on how their personality is.
Right.
And if I see you as one kind of personality on the internet, and then when I meet you, you're completely different, I'm going to be disappointed.
Right.
Because it's not what I expected.
Right.
So people tell me all the time, I don't like this, I don't like this. I don't care.
Right.
And well, what are people going to think? Who cares?
Right.
Who's responsible for paying your bills and putting food on your table?
Right.
Not them.
No.
And 9 times out of 10, if they're criticizing what you do, it's not because it's bad. It's because they're jealous.
Right.
because they're not doing it themselves.
Right. Exactly.
So it's a mindset thing for me.
It is.
And when agents ask to come get my help one-on-one, and I meet with 2 to 3 agents every day.
Yeah.
And there's 2 things that I tell you got to learn. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks.
Right.
And do everything simple, stupid.
Right.
Okay? Because people don't read and they don't follow directions.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make sure that when people see your marketing, that your message is clear.
Right.
They know what it is they're looking at. And that when they see your brand, they know who you are.
Right.
If you can accomplish that, just wait.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yep. Absolutely.
So we're going to fix him. He's going to come. He's going to set a date on the calendar and come hang out with me. So
Absolutely.
When someone comes to see you for the very first time, you've never met them. However, they got your name and number. What can they expect? A lot of people, when they go to try, I mean, you said earlier, the largest expense they're ever going to have is buying a home.
Right.
I'm already nervous.
Right.
Now I got to go talk to somebody I've never ever met before.
Right.
What can they expect?
Yeah, I think number one, it's you look them in the eye. I think that's step one. Today's world, everybody's like this. Everybody's like this. I mean, you can see people's backs around it, etc. It's like this. Look somebody in the eye for a second. That alone is like, oh, wait a second. They're focused on me. They have this. They have that. Now my attention is on them. That's number one. So that gives a little bit of trust and focus right off the bat. 2, you acknowledge the fact that it's going to be a big purchase. You tell them straight that this is a big purchase, but our expertise is here to guide you. You give them the calming feeling. And lastly, I think this is where a lot of my frustration sometimes with this industry come with other people saying things to make people feel good, where you just have to shoot it straight. You can't. You have to be very honest about things. If somebody's budget's $300,000 and they only want to look at $800,000 homes, don't take them there, because once you take them to that first one or show them that first YouTube video, they're never going to buy a house with you, because their benchmark is here and their budget's here.
Right.
And so you have to be very open, very honest. Talk about the process, coach them, guide them. But at the end of the day, step one is look them in the eye, shake their hands, and give them that focus and time to understand what their questions are, get to know them, who they are, remember their names, because that's...
Which I'm terrible about. Oh my God, I'm terrible.
It happens open house. And you walk out, hi, and you remember the husband's name, not the wife's, or vice versa. And you go, nice to meet you, and you shake one hand. Other person, nice to meet you. Yeah.
And you too.
Exactly. So, just be direct with them, but be calm with them, and be confident. That's the biggest thing here. Because if you're on your phone and looking, they're going to say he's not interested in working with me.
And last question before we wrap up the podcast. What is one thing about you that they should know that they don't?
It's one thing they should know about me. Not work-related or work-related?
Either one. It's your podcast, man.
So if you're going work-related on this one, is that, my mom and I work as a team, and there'll be 2 of us involved in every step of it, even if one of us, her or I, depending on the transaction, are not fully visible. That's number one. So you have 2 people. When you hire one of us, you get 2 of us at the same time.
2 for 1.
Exactly. It's a 2-for-1 deal.
They have to play 2 commissions.
No, just one. We'll split that on our end. Don't worry about that. And then, kind of personally, I think, I'm just a family person. Between my wife, my almost 11-month-old daughter, my dog, and our household, or the rest of my family being 5 minutes away. If we're not working, we're pretty much together as a family, and that's where we'll be. So
family man.
And last thing is travel. I mean, I think I've learned more traveling than anything else on the planet. I don't care what podcast or book or anything you read. Go to a country, go meet the locals, immerse yourself there. You'll learn so much more about everything else than any book or podcast or YouTube video can teach you.
I've been to 8 other countries, and every time I got home, I was glad to be home. Yep. But I've always been thankful for the experience, because almost everybody that I know in my world didn't get to experience that. Right. And so that's one thing that, So yeah, you got to travel. You got to go.
You gotta-
Life outside of Houston is so much vast.
And I said the world. I mean, I remember, when I was younger, and I wouldn't take vacations here or even in the U.S. My vacations would be overseas somewhere.
Exactly.
And it's important.
It grows you. It expands you. So.
Oh yeah.
So Rishi, tell everybody how they get a hold of you. Give me your phone number and your email address.
Yeah. So my phone number is 281-772-2968. My email address is Rishi, Rishi, at Naran, Naran, properties.com. Yes, Naran is spelled the same forward and backwards.
Good, there you go.
Yeah. So, that's how you get a hold of me. And on Instagram, we are narangroup.houston.
Awesome. And are you on Facebook or LinkedIn or anything?
Facebook is the same one as well, narangroup.houston, and LinkedIn is my name, Rishi Naran.
Awesome.
I don't post enough on LinkedIn. I need to.
Next time he's on a podcast, he's going to talk about all the stuff he's been posting. Give me your phone number one more time.
Yep, 281-772-2968.
Thank you very much, Nisi.
Thank you.
And by the way, happy birthday. His
Thank
birthday
you.
was yesterday.
Thank you.
Right?
I appreciate that. Yep.
He is a ripe old 23 years old. No.
Add a few to that, but
we'll
go with it.
Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate
Happy
it.
birthday.
Yep.
So that was episode number 84 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. Again, like I started out at the beginning of the podcast, if you're an agent or a vendor and you watch the podcast and you operate in the Fort Bend County area and you want to be on the podcast, call me, 832-654-0527. And again, I could not do this podcast if it wasn't for Jennifer Smidas, Caitlin Cornick, Devony Devon, Anna Detmore, Kate Cannon in the Richmond office, and all of our sports staff. So if it wasn't for them, I couldn't do the podcast every week. And last thing is, like I always say, if you need title services and you are in the Houston area and you're not using Stewart Title, I will find you and I will call you.
We will find you.
You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.